Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well. Wait on people to join in before we hop right to all the action that's going on, not only in the Western Hemisphere, but the Eastern Hemisphere. Big events occurring almost simultaneously around the world, or at least within, a few hours of each other. A lot of things going on. We still have an ongoing event that has started yesterday. That actually it started way before yesterday. But hey, Daniel, what's up, Kaylee, Claudette, Julie, Brenton, Secret Owl, Fubar? What's going on, guys? Love you too. Hello, East Coast of Florida, Julie Rocco. Been there, been to Cocoa Beach many times. Hello, Donut from Scotland. How's everybody doing today? Good? Hope you're doing great. Unfortunately, there's some things going on around the world that aren't necessarily great, but it's just part of the world that we live in and the changing world that we live in, constantly changing. Still ongoing, hundreds of thousands are still without power in flooded Northeast as temperatures start to plummet. Article just about 4 hours old, and as you can see, I showed this bridge that washed out in Maine, and Maine was one of the hardest hit areas, at least with regard to power outages. Definitely high winds, and 2 to 6 inches of rain. Look at this, still 412,000 customers without power. Are you serious? That's more than likely affecting over 1 million people. I mean, wow. And over 100,000, 105,000 in Massachusetts currently without power. Temperatures starting to plummet, looking at 23,889 in Connecticut. So the situation, I don't know, it's improved with regard to the storm. The storm has, for all intents and purposes, moved out. I had some people, and I want to apologize in a sense. I had more than one person say, "Hey, you're not mentioning Canada." Well, I did mention Canada, but I'm sorry I don't have Canada on this map. This map you see right here is poweroutage.us. It's only for the US. I don't have access to the power outage data up in Canada, like in Quebec and Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. If I did, I would gladly share it with you guys. But I always mention my friends in Canada. Darren over in Abbotsford, John up in Newfoundland. There's a lot of viewers in Canada, and I always try to remember you. I never forget you. I'm sorry, but this map is only for US. It doesn't give Canada power outages. So I apologize for that. I didn't forget you. I mentioned the high winds in Quebec and Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. And it even says right here the storm moved into Canada and rainfall has largely subsided in the Northeast. Impacts will linger over New England on Tuesday. That is today. Flooding remains in communities where river levels are starting to peak, and you can see right here this bridge washed out in the great state of Maine. Peter yesterday joined us from Maine. I don't know if he's here today or not. Peter was in the middle of Maine, in the middle of the power outage, but he was also in our live stream. He was in our chat room yesterday with no power, Vermont. Hey, what's up, Dennis? We noticed yesterday, and it still looks like that today, Dennis. You guys didn't get hardly any power outages. Look at this, 56. Wow, that's impressive. I would say, if I had to guess, because I know the wind didn't miss you guys up in Vermont, but I would say that the majority of the power lines are underground. Hello, Johan from Quebec. Yeah, I love you guys up in Canada. Just know that. Just know that this map is only U.S. I can't get access to the Canadian power grid statistics. If I could, I would. Peter, are you there? Is the power back on? It doesn't look like it, because yesterday we talked about the power outages, the major blackout in the Northeast, and it's still considered a major blackout. It's affecting still millions of people today. Peter, are you there, buddy? Tom Brady. Tom Brady's in the room. Just to nobody, send the link. Okay, Tom Brady. Jojo, Cindy, Alberta. All glory to God. What's up, Alberta? Alberta, Canada. Up, got viewers from Manitoba, up in far northwestern Canada, up in the Northwestern Territories. I get photos every once in a while from Tanya. Great photos of the Northern Lights. So, yes, a lot of great people up in Canada. Thank you very much. I appreciate all your photos and stopping by and saying hi. Eileen K, I'm on the Canadian border, St. Marie, and we have not lost power. More than likely, your power lines are underground. Just to nobody, that's what Tom Brady said, Christy. I don't know why he said that, but apparently Tom Brady's in the room. Thank you for joining us, Tom. How's retirement? You doing okay? I hope everything's working out for you. The Willow from Brisbane. Is it Brisbane or Brisbane? Because I've heard birth. See, there's New Brunswick. Mike. What's up, Mike from New Brunswick? I got you guys in Canada, and don't think I don't. I got you. I'm watching you guys all the time on there's a weather map right over here that's got Canada weather on it. I just don't have access to the power outage data. But no, I got you. I got you, Scotland. I got you, UK. I got you, Michigan. Just know it. I got you. I got you, New York. Cornwall, UK. I got you. Just know that. The Willow, is it Brisbane or Brisbane? Just curious because I've heard it pronounced both ways, and I try to be correct, when I pronounce things on here. We had the discussion. What's up, San Leandro? Chevy? What's going on, guys? Mikey DeMo, Tom Brady, Fremont, California, Axon Nacho, Ontario. So anyway, the power outage is still going on, guys, up in the Northeast, and it looks like it's going to continue. They're probably having a hard time getting the power back on. Hopefully, it'll be restored soon. But if it's still windy, it's going to be very difficult for those guys to get in the trucks. But moving over to China, I'm sure you guys have heard about the earthquake. This was a 5.9. It started out as a 6.2. I'm sure most of you have heard about it by now. But as you can see, it was relatively close to a populated area. Right there's the 5.9 right there. So just a few miles from a pretty densely populated area. And unfortunately, there have been casualties. I don't know exactly how many. Where is it at? Right here. Yeah, here's some folks that were in a restaurant, it looks like, as the earthquake occurred. My goodness. You can see the camera shaking, some of the lights shaking. This is from the very shallow 5.9 earthquake just a few hours ago. So these things are happening simultaneously. The big storm and look at that. It started out as a 6.2. The depth is located in Linguao Township, Dushan County. You see there a building obviously collapsed from the very shallow earthquake. The more shallow, it's like a landslide went through here. Wow. And that's what the area we were just looking at on Google Earth, right? Actually, not on Google Earth. Actually, I do have it on Google Earth. No, that's a different place we're going to go to. Over here on the USGS map. Okay, here we go. This is the area that was impacted by the earthquake. And it wasn't the strongest earthquake the world's ever seen by any means, but there was a few aftershocks, a 4.6, 4.6, 4.2, 4.5, all about the same depth. They're all coming in at 10 kilometers. That's 6.2 miles deep. But unfortunately, it was right next to this very densely populated area. So don't like to see that. We never like to see earthquakes, especially very shallow earthquakes near populated areas. I had a guy tell me one time he was in a 6.0 magnitude quake up in the state of Washington many years ago, And when the earthquake started and, you know, his house started shaking, he ran outside like anybody would because it was during the daytime. People were awake. And he said he looked down his street and he could see waves going up and down the street for as far as he could see. He said it looked like, you know what the roads look like on a very super hot day when it's like 110 outside and you can see the heat radiating off the roads. He said, but the roads were literally going, there were waves. He said it was the craziest thing he'd ever seen. And that was in the state of Washington many years ago. But unfortunately, a very large earthquake, 37 kilometers, that'd be about 16 miles west northwest of Lingsa over in China. And right there it was. And that's been a topic of discussion today. Every time I get an alert like you guys do on my phone, they're talking about this earthquake that, again, unfortunately, had casualties, more than 700 people injured in the very shallow earthquake. And the more shallow they are, unfortunately, the more damage that they do. It looks like it happened at night. I woke my family up and we rushed down all 16 floors, said one man, as the earthquake was occurring. The worst hit in Gansu said more than 5,000 buildings in the area had been damaged. Wow. More than 5,000 buildings. So more than likely, they're talking about this area right here. Look at that. More than 5,000 buildings in this area impacted by the 5.9 earthquake to some degree. You know, some obviously worse than others, but anywhere from probably stress, fracture, cracks to full-on collapses. So don't like to see that. Unfortunately, it's how the earth works. We've always had earthquakes. We'll always have earthquakes. That's not going to change. And another thing that we're always going to have, and that is volcanic eruptions. And we've been watching the earthquakes up in Iceland. And I just didn't report on it every single day because I knew it was going to be a long duration event. Like when Mount Kilauea erupted in Hawaii, the earthquake swarms were every day. There are still swarms occurring right now on the big island of Hawaii, and we just don't talk about it every day because it's an everyday event, and that's what's going on up here. In fact, I have where do I have? There's still this is an article about 420,000 Mainers left in the dark after a windstorm. In fact, it was more than that. But here's the Earthquake Act data, and I was going to touch on it once the volcano erupted. And yes, that's another thing that has happened. Major large scale events occurring at the same time around the world. This is another one. Have a large volcanic eruption, a large earthquake in a densely populated area, a very strong, powerful, no-name storm. It looked like a tropical storm that went through a densely populated area over here in the United States, affecting over 1 million, probably 2 million people with regard to power outages. Now we have an earthquake that just erupted just a few hours ago. I have video footage from Iceland. Check this out. This was sent in just today. It was in the Dropbox early this morning. Eruption over in Iceland. This was sent in by Zach from 3:14 a.m. So this occurred. This is fairly new. I mean, this happened within the last 24 hours. And here's video footage sent in as the volcano was erupting. And again, ongoing earthquake swarms. And the earthquakes could be anywhere from below 1.0 to it maybe above 2.5. You know, it's just a variety of very, very small earthquakes caused by the erupting volcano. And this is as it was erupting. It's still erupting right now as I do this video. Thank you, Robert Evans, Tracy, Alabama, Bob Compa. We're looking at the volcano as it erupted last night at 3:14 local time in Iceland. There it is as it was erupting. Fairly long fissure Mother Earth lives. You're right, JJ Bud. Mother Earth is alive and well. Mother Earth is doing good. I mean, she's alive and well. You said a lot right there. Yes, you did. You said a lot. But this is a look at the volcano as it was erupting. Zach took this screen recording. This is a webcam that was monitoring the activity, and I've been following the earthquake activity over there, but I follow the earthquake activity on the big island of Hawaii. Just don't talk about it every single day because it's occurring every single day. And I knew it was just a matter of time before this was going to erupt. This isn't the first time it's erupted, and it won't be the last. Um, this, like the storm up in the northeastern United States, impacted thousands of people. The storms impacted millions of people, but there were over 3,000 people that had to be evacuated um, prior to this volcano erupting, and they don't know when they'll be able to get back home. So the volcano in Iceland, as everybody knew, it was going to erupt. It was just a matter of time. So this is another large-scale event that's currently underway. This is a big deal. But again, it's not the first time it's erupted, and it won't be the last. It'll do it again. Earth is surrounded by volcanoes, either active or not active. And there's over 10,000. Over 10,000. The majority are not active. Um, but the Pacific Ring of Fire, like, I know it's hard to see, but on this little rock I have, it's a polished sphere, but you can see what looks like a fissure, just like up there in Iceland. If you could look at that from satellite, it would look like a fissure like you see on that rock, a glowing fissure. But this is a look at the volcanic activity. I'll step it forward a little faster so you guys can see what's happening. This is like a 15-20 minute video, but you can see it's a long fissure that erupted. Some were saying, I saw reports, and maybe you guys can correct me, because I know you've seen the reports too. Some reports were saying that some of these lava fountains were over 300 feet tall. That would be over 150 meters. Is that true? I mean, the ones that I'm seeing aren't necessarily nearly that tall, but nevertheless, magma on the move. And when magma exits a fissure, a dome, once it comes out of the ground, it's called lava. Lava flows. That's a lava flow. But when it's in the ground, it's referred to as magma. Changes name when it comes out of the ground. So, a little tidbit there in case you didn't know. I'm sure most of you did. You're very smart people. Mother Earth is in labor. Amanda C. You know, you may have said a lot there, Amanda C. Yeah, it's almost like Earth is trying to break out of its shell, right? Nah, surely not. Nah, no way. No way would something like that be happening, right? Yeah. Hello, Amanda. Yeah, you got it, Amanda. Maybe Earth is trying to break out of its shell, huh? Maybe it doesn't want to be covered in thousands of miles of all this cosmic dust. And things like this are an example of Earth, as someone put it over here, trying to give birth or whatever. Here's another view, a wide angle of the fissure, a pretty good sized fissure. I think it was 2 miles long, somewhere around the neighborhood of 4 kilometers, give or take. But there it is. There's a good wide angle view of the fissure, and I can show you guys where it's at. I have it on Google Earth right here. I'm going to be honest. Y'all up there in Scotland, no offense, I love all you guys up there, but some of the spelling is, I got to admit, it is very difficult to pronounce. Somebody pronounce that one for me. Slingarful? Did I screw it up terribly? I mean, I hope not. Slingarful. I mean, some of the names up here are this long, and yeah, I don't even want to attempt to pronounce some of these names up there. But there's where the fissure's at right there. It's over 2 miles long, 4 kilometers long, and that's what we just saw active right there. There you go. Active volcano up in Iceland at the 63-degree north latitude, 62, somewhere in that neighborhood. Earthquake over in western China. And then the no-named tropical storm in the northeastern United States. And you got to ask yourself, what next? What next? It seems like there's always something going on, and it goes back to, as Amanda said, that the earth is alive. The earth is alive. Absolutely it is. It is alive. Slingafell. Hey, Juke Bizzle, how's everybody doing today? Grindavik, Iceland. Wow, got somebody from Iceland. Cool beans. Sorry for mispronouncing the name. I know I screwed it up. I admit it. I did. I did. I know I did. But this is the volcano that we've been waiting on for weeks. And I remember many years ago, up in Iceland, in this very location, there was another earthquake swarm, and there were thousands of earthquakes right up here in this same area. Maybe a little farther to the right. Here, somebody want to take a crack at this one here? Anybody? We love you, Iceland, but how do you pronounce that? I mean, really? That's 1, 2, 3. That's about 20 letters long. It's a little island off the coast of mainland Iceland, but that's not where the swarm was many years ago. Same place. Same place, right in here in... You guys don't want to try it either. Go ahead, somebody try. Iceland is green. Go figure. Yeah, there's an absence of ice and snow and things here recently. And those of you that were anticipating a white Christmas, especially in the United States, more than likely that's not going to happen. Depends on where you are. That's how you talk with your teeth chattering when it's cold. Gotcha, Sasha. Okay. A little bit of humor there. But it's not as cold in Iceland as it used to be. And look at the soil there. The soil is actually brown. Have you guys noticed that? Most of the entire earth, and this is a whole nother rabbit hole that we'll go down another day. But look right there as a prime example. This is where the volcano is currently erupting. And here's the video footage to prove it right here. It's currently erupting. And I know we have some people in the chat room from Iceland. Thank you for joining. But there's the volcano as we see it from over here. We're not there. Seeing lava splash around. I mean, that is a wild scene. But yeah, this is an event that we've been waiting on for a long time. But back to the color right here. Have you noticed how everywhere on Earth it's a color of brown? Even in Iceland, you would expect to see ice, right? Snow and ice everywhere. This is a Google Earth image from, wow, April 14th of 2023. I mean, this is pretty new. Everything's brown, right? Iceland, like someone mentioned in the comment section, Iceland, you would expect it to be covered with ice and snow and cold. We just associate Iceland with snow and ice. Isn't that why it was named Iceland? You know what I mean? But it's changing, the earth is changing. The earth is going through changes. And I don't think it's the first time the earth has gone through changes. I just think maybe it's the first time that we have experienced these changes. And I've got a lot of things that I want to share with you guys. This folder right here, I'm working on a variety of different things. Some on the ground, some up in the sky. Those are videos that people have shared with me. And I'm working on getting those out to you guys. And Nelson, if you're watching, I'm still working on the Sahara finds. Nelson found some really cool stuff over in the Sahara Desert. But why is the Earth all brown? Like especially in the northern hemisphere, as the sun angle changes, the foliage is going to turn brown, and the soil's brown. You'd think we were on a brown dwarf. Everything's brown. Why is everything brown? Brown again up here in Iceland, but um, that's a topic we'll talk about some other day. Everything on Earth is brown, even underneath the oceans that appear to be blue. They're not really blue. Take a clear glass of water and dip it in the ocean and hold it up. It's clear. The oceans really aren't blue, but the soil and the sediment underneath the ocean is brown. Everything's brown, like we're on a brown dwarf. We're not on a brown dwarf, are we? No, surely not. Map shows lava path from Iceland volcano eruption after thousands evacuated. Article today, December 19th, 4:15 p.m. And there's the fissure right there. And that's the one that we just saw that was erupting 4 kilometers. Thought I read that somewhere. 4 kilometers long, right around 2 miles. And here it is once again in action as it's erupting. This was obviously several hours ago, but big deal, as we've been waiting on this for a long time. We knew it was coming. The volcano finally erupted, and it will probably erupt for a while. Don't know. Iceland's volcano has finally erupted following weeks of earthquake swarms in the region, sending molten lava spewing hundreds of feet in the air. Again, it's lava once it penetrates the ground or it penetrates the dome of a volcano, but it's magma if it's underground. As long as it's underground, it's magma. When it penetrates the surface, then it becomes lava. So there are 2 different names, even though it's the same exact thing. It's a different name when it exits the ground. The 4-kilometer long fissure erupted just 1.6 miles away from the fishing village of Grindavik. I got that one. Thank you, Hopi's Real. This morning had a vision in a spiritual download and meditation of a huge smoke and flooding tsunami and the formation of a huge hole that leads to another world. Not sure what that means. Volcano? Could be. Thanks for sharing. Really appreciate that. It's very kind. I don't know what that means. It could mean a lot of things. This one here, I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Is now a volcanic area located east of popular tourist spot Blue Lagoon, which is located north of Grindavik. We got that one. Here's another view of the fissure, the 2-mile, 4-kilometer long fissure in action last night at around 3 o'clock in the morning. You can see the lava. That's called a lava flow. That's not a magma flow. That is a now lava flow coming out of the fissure. As long as it's underground, it's called magma. Underneath the Yellowstone supervolcano, which we talk about all the time, there are magma chambers underneath the supervolcano. Not lava chambers, magma chambers. Once that magma, if it were to ever, penetrate the supervolcano, becomes lava. Travel advice from the British Foreign Office remains unchanged and still lists the same information as it did in November. While there is no current eruption, it is increasingly possible that one could occur. Meanwhile, Icelandic officials have said the eruption is not a tourist volcano and have warned visitors to stay away from the area. I don't know why they just kind of contradicted themselves there. They said, well, there's no current eruption. And then in the next sentence, they say, said the eruption is not a place for tourists to go. There is an eruption underway in Iceland. We hope it does not extend further south. The lava is primarily to Fagradalsfjall, he added. The Icelandic Met Office has placed an orange aviation alert for Reykjanes, warning pilots that although a volcanic eruption is underway, there is minor, if any, flight stoppage at this time. Shay Watson. Wow. Thank you, Shay Watson. Yeah, that was very nice. Thank you. Early birthday present, huh? Thank you, Shay. Really appreciate that. I appreciate you stopping by. So path of the eruption right there, guys. And we've been watching the earthquakes up there for a long time. And here's a map showing the earthquake swarms. Um, Several, especially in the area where the volcano erupted. And that looks just like what we've been following on the big island of Hawaii, Mount Kilauea. As it was rumbling out there for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks back in 2018, finally erupted. And there are still, to this day, 5 years later, there's still a lot of a lot prior to the eruption. Let's put it that way. There's always been volcanic activity on the Big Island of Hawaii. These eruptions or these small quakes here will continue for probably weeks, if not months, maybe years, like the Big Island of Hawaii. After Mount Kilauea erupted, the earthquake map has looked like this. And this will probably remain like this for many, many weeks to come. Here's another article from, this is actually out of France, December 19th at 2:56 a.m. Iceland volcano erupts after weeks of earthquakes. And the earthquakes will continue, not only for weeks, but for months. And every once in a while, this is what will happen. Every once in a while, like you can look at the size of these earthquakes if they show them, and they don't. Why not? Maybe they'll show them here. Yeah, here we go. I just want to show you guys the size of these earthquakes. They're not that big, but they're just big enough to be measurable, right? 1.2, 1.2, 1.4, 0.1, 0.9, 1.1. I mean, these earthquakes associated with the volcanic activity are just strong enough to be measurable. So, that's why we don't make a big deal out of the earthquake swarm, because the earthquakes are so small. They're part of an ongoing prelude to an eruption that we just saw. But guess what I'm not getting at? It's like we saw in 2018 with Mount Kilauea. Right before it erupted, there were probably thousands of small earthquakes, and they occurred before the eruption, during the eruption, and are currently occurring after the eruption. But those, believe it or not, are a little bit stronger. But here's another look at the eruption that is currently underway over in Iceland, and I'm sure that it's dark again in Iceland. Thank you, Shay. That was very kind. Let me check here. Shay Watson. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's dark again in Iceland. It's already 2 in the morning over there. 1 in the morning. Time just checking in to say hello. Keep up the great work. 80s girl. Hey, 80s girl, you were here yesterday. I remember the name. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hold on. Hey, Siri. What is the time in Iceland?
In Reykjavik, Iceland, it's 9:02 p.m.
Reykjavik, 9:02 p.m. in Reykjavik. So it is dark, and the volcano probably looks something like this in Reykjavik. Thank you, Siri, for helping pronounce that word. I appreciate it. Reykjavik, 9:02 p.m. in Iceland. So once again, the volcano finally erupted after weeks of volcanic activity. And just remember that earthquake activity and the earthquake activity will continue for weeks to come. As I mentioned earlier, not to get too far off topic, we'll come back and talk more about that briefly. There's the earthquake over in China. Like I said, unfortunately, people perished in the earthquake. I think it happened overnight. 5,000 buildings were damaged to some degree. Not a good situation. They've had a few aftershocks over there. Not many, which is good. We don't want any more. But a 5.9 isn't necessarily a very strong earthquake. It's strong. It was initially a 6.2, downgraded to a 5.9, but it was shallow. So shallow. Wow. Not a good scenario. But back to you guys. Somebody had mentioned about having a white Christmas in hey, Dawn, thank you. Love you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Love you too. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate that. You can thank El Nino for your brown Christmas. Now, people up in Canada, where you're at, Dawn, you guys are probably going to have a white Christmas. In fact, I would say, if I had to guess, you've already got snow on the ground. in some places in Canada. And we have snow on the ground in some parts of the United States too. But the vast majority of the United States, you're not going to see a white Christmas. In fact, most of the United States is going to be above 40 degrees on Christmas. Yeah. Just on average. I mean, obviously Florida is going to be warmer. Um, Chicago, I heard 53 degrees on Christmas. Are you serious? 53 degrees on Christmas. Wow. So yeah, probably going to be a warm Christmas here across the country. More than likely, not going to be a white Christmas. Maybe in parts of the far northern Michigan, maybe in far northern Maine, quite possibly northern Montana, Canada. Yeah, you got a better chance of having a white Christmas, but not down here in the States. So once again, volcano erupting right now as I do this video in Iceland, earthquake over here in China. Look how far apart, right? Let's see if we can measure here real quick. What's going on there? I don't know. Sort of glitch, I guess. Yeah, just a glitch, right? Okay. About 4,200 miles away, the volcanic eruption from the earthquake, and then the storm in the United States, the no-name storm, was the no-name storm was 2,200 miles away from Iceland. So the big no-name storm, the tropical storm, December tropical storm, 2,000 miles away from the earthquake. The earthquake was 4,000 miles away from the volcanic eruption. So a lot of activity going on today. Don't know if there's been any. Have you guys been paying attention to the potential flight delays, possibly associated with this Mercury retrograde, as we talked about the other day? In fact, let's go back to the power outages real quick. I just want to refresh this and see if it's still at. They're getting power back online. So you guys in Maine, check it out. It's been updated now. Down. Well, hold on. I thought it was 350,000. Yeah, 350,000 customers currently without power. That's still a lot. Again, if you figure two people per household, which you know it's more than that, that's 700,000 people. You know it's still affecting over 1 million people. Peter, are you in here, my friend? Peter was in here yesterday. Um, he was on the live stream with us as his home was without power in Maine due to the high winds. I saw flooding earlier. My wife found this article for me, but I found another area, or I saw another area that looked very similar to this. You can see the bumper off of this car. Are you serious? What is going on? How did the bumper come off the car? Must have been involved in something else. I can't imagine the flooding taking the bumper off the car. Good grief. Oh, hey, John Latino from Boston. Love your bits. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. I'm looking at a picture here from, where's this picture out of? It says right there, Elmsford, New York. So this is south of you, John Latino. Did you guys get any flooding in Boston, John? I saw an area, I want to say it was in Nova Scotia. I want to say it was in Nova Scotia, quite possibly Newfoundland, but I want to say maybe New Brunswick. Houses were underwater. Unbelievable scene. I think it was Nova Scotia. Houses were underwater. But we can also see the streets filled with water here in Elmsford, New York. And a van, was like fairly new van, sitting in the road with the bumper ripped off. You kidding me? Here's the bridge that collapsed in Maine. And again, this is from the no name storm that had no name. It started in the Gulf of Mexico, right down here. And you could see it developing. Let me see if I can back out and get the clouds on here. There it is right there. There's the storm. What's left of it, that's still not necessarily a remnant. I guess that's considered a remnant. Wow. Thank you for all you do from Falkirk, Scotland. Donna Desmond. Thank you, Donna. That's very kind of you. Early birthday present. Thank you very much. There's what's left of the storm right there. You guys can see hanging off the eastern seaboard. And Donna, the storm remnants might be headed your way over into Scotland. I don't think it'll be quite as strong as it was when it's over here because it looks like it's lost its counterclockwise rotation, which tells us that it's losing some of its strength, or it's lost a lot of its strength. It doesn't have that scorpion look in the sky. And when it has that scorpion tail and that counterclockwise rotation, and then you know it's probably going to be a pretty strong storm system. Well, it is. This is over, the structure itself spans over 3,000 miles. Look for more of that this year. Look for more of that this year as we're transitioning between La Nina and El Nino. So El Nino is probably going to keep most of us down here, at least in the United States, from having, what is that? I know you guys see that, right? What's going on here? Shalom, warrior for Christ. Good day to everybody in there. A Ventura. I know that bridge. Isn't that something? You guys see that there? It doesn't look natural, does it? It looks like it's got some like 90s going on in there, and then that looks weird, right? That's off the coast of California. It just doesn't. That just caught my attention. It doesn't look like a natural cloud. Hey, Laura Hyatt. Laura Hyatt, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. What is that? I'll let you guys decide. You tell me. What are we looking at here? I know, right? Go smart. What is that? How does a natural cloud that's being influenced by the upper level winds and the jet streams that are moving this way and that way, and you know you've got winds up there cranking at 200 miles an hour, and that forms right there? It's just kind of casually hanging out off the west coast of the United States. What? How? I don't know. There it is, though. I'm not even sure how you describe that. Hmm. These are the types of things that you guys see all the time. I mean, you guys don't miss a trick. And you'll send me things like that. And we just happen to see one right in the middle of a stream. That's just something weird. It's some sort of an anomaly. You can't make this stuff up. It just happened in real time. Right there it is. Doesn't look natural. Here's something, though, that we're going to be watching right there. That atmospheric river that's coming together. Hey, Andrea Nash. Hi, everyone. Glad I finally caught a live stream. Love from Sunderland, Northeast England. Thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate that. But this is an atmospheric river that is assembling right now. Sometimes they call these things pineapple expresses. Have you ever heard that term? Pineapple express. That was derived from one of the very first long storms that spanned from Hawaii all the way to the west coast of the United States. Not the east coast, the west coast. And it was a linear storm that spanned over 2,000 miles. They called it an atmospheric river, but someone coined it the Pineapple Express because of the pineapples that come from Hawaii, the delicious pineapples that come from Hawaii. One of my favorite foods is pineapple. I love pineapple. But this is a pineapple express that's forming, that's going to bring rain to all you folks out here in Arizona, Southern California, Central California, Palenta. You might see some rain in Sacramento, but especially Southern California, the Los Angeles area, over here in Arizona, Yuma, San Diego especially. We're going to see some rain starting on Friday. I don't know what we've got going on here. Looks like we've got a mothership hanging out off the coast of the western United States. Okay. So yeah, starting Friday and into Saturday, look for persistent rain, sometimes heavy rain in California and over into Arizona. And we welcome it. That's not a bad thing. We hardly ever get rain out here. So when there's a chance of rain, it's kind of exciting. We don't see storm activity out here much. The weather is good, and we're thankful for that. But when we get the monsoons and the lightning and stuff that are associated with monsoons, you know, I got to be honest, it's kind of exciting. We don't get a whole lot of exciting weather. So we've got some weather moving in. You can see the big clouds spanning all across the western United States. That is the El Nino effect. That's all it is. It's the El Nino effect, and the jet streams are rerouting this energy, this constant flow of energy that's got to flow somewhere, and it's just kind of rerouted. It's going to reroute it through Arizona every once in a while, Southern California, up the eastern seaboard, and then it's going to dive down into our friends in Scotland, Southern California. Angela, get your umbrella in, Angela. You're going to need it. I would get your umbrella out by Friday. Thank you, Jamie Castleberry, for the early birthday wish. I appreciate that. You guys in Southern California, get your umbrellas. You're going to need them. I'm going to need one. I'm going to need my umbrella. It's right over there in the closet. Got an umbrella over there. Got an umbrella in the back of the car. And the one in the back of the car, obviously we don't use it for rain because it hardly ever rains out here. The one in the back of the car and the one in the closet, to be honest. I bought the umbrellas for portable shade. And did you know, or do you care? And I'm sure most of you know this because you're very smart people. The umbrella, many thousands of years ago, was developed to block shade, not rain. It was invented to keep people shaded from direct sunlight. And true story. So the umbrella wasn't even invented for rain. It was invented for portable shade. So make sure you have your umbrella for rain if you're in Southern California, and if you're in Arizona Friday and Saturday, you're going to need it. Yeah, it's going to rain for sure. I would say there's a 99.5% chance. I'm not going to say 100% chance because weather can be kind of tricky sometimes. But I'd say that there's a 99.5% chance it's going to rain in Southern California and over here in Arizona. So get your umbrellas out, man. Check this out. Going from Southern California or actually Arizona, to Honduras. Check this out in case you haven't seen this. Check it out. Tim from Honduras. Are you serious? From Honduras. Look at that. How often do you see something like that? They were tripping out when they saw that up in the sky. And they just said, wow, look at this. Obviously, that's why they're recording the sky. Check it out, man. How cool is that? You just don't see things like that every day. That is really cool. It looks like a man-made blimp, but it's not. That is a natural, I guess natural. Doesn't look natural, but it is. Um, this is an old one. I was going through an old hard drive. I was looking for something, and I ran across this. And I know most of you probably haven't seen this because this is from, probably 2016. This goes back about 6 or 7 years. You can probably tell by the quality. I did expand the quality a little bit, but that's all I did to it. Tim out of Honduras, one of the coolest clouds you will ever see. But I ran across that on an old hard drive as I was looking for something that wasn't so old. Some things that I want to share with you guys coming up here soon. And when I do share those, you're never going to look at the world the same ever again. No, it's impossible. You won't. Check out this photo here. Photo here by Sarah Fontana out of London. We have some people from the United Kingdom today. Sarah took this photo of a bright pink, light purple sky over in London. Not exactly sure of the date though, but I just got that. Chico, California, epic results. How you doing? Saying hey to some people in the chat room. Desmond or Donna Desmond. Yes, Lee, we've got a storm headed our way. There is a storm. Yeah, purple sky, Lori Steck. That is definitely about as purple as you can get, right? And that's over in London. Sarah Fontana. Thank you, Sarah. Really appreciate that. Back to the power outages. Just real quick, I want to refresh the page just to see how they're coming along with the outages. 66,000 in Massachusetts, getting people back online. That's great. Good to see. 351,000 now in Maine. Maine, and the temperatures are getting a little bit colder up in Maine and New Hampshire. Obviously, Massachusetts, as our friend John knows, it's getting a little bit colder. Hopefully, they get the power on really, really quick. I mean, I'm pulling for you guys. I really am. There's the storm as it's pulling out, and looks like it's headed towards Greenland, that is white, Iceland, that is green and brown. No longer, we got one part of Iceland over here. That as we started the video out with the volcano erupting in Iceland, and watch the volcanoes or not volcanoes, watch the earthquakes. They will continue for probably weeks. They'll go well into next year. There'll be earth, and there'll be some. There'll be some that will be moderate in the probably 5 range. If it's anything like the behavior of Mount Kilauea on the Big Island of Hawaii, every once in a while, but not very often, but every once in a while, there'll be one that's in the strong 4, maybe weak 5 range in this area where the volcano is currently erupting. And right here is where the fissure is at, just over 4 kilometers, right around 2 miles long. And the fissure is glowing. In fact, it's glowing very brightly. Here's a look at the fissure from last night at 3:14 a.m. as the volcano started erupting. And some were saying, I don't know if this is verifiable, but some were saying that it was sending lava fountains up 300 feet in the sky as it first started to erupt. So I don't know if that's true or not. I suppose it is. I don't know why they'd make that up. But you can see the lava kind of bouncing around over here. Again, it's not lava until it comes out of the ground. Even though it's the same stuff when it's underground as it is when it's above, but it changes names. It's lava above ground, magma below ground. And you're seeing lava flows. It's very bright, almost like we're looking at something you would see on a star, right? Wonder if that's what happens on stars if you have stuff like that, like molten lava, right? Molten lava, very bright and very hot. So that's creating, I don't know if that's going to create new land. We saw it create new land out in Hawaii, over in the Big Island area when the volcano erupted, Mount Kilauea. The Big Island got bigger, right? Over here on the southern side, the southwestern side. I don't know if it's been updated yet, but you can see the lava flow. Pu'u or Pu'uo. And yes, the Big Island got bigger from the lava flow. I forgot now how many acres they said, but it did grow. The Big Island is now bigger than what it was prior to the volcano erupting. So, and there's still, if we go to the earthquakes, watch, look at all the earthquakes out there. They're just incredible. Look, I wasn't kidding. I would never try to kid you guys. I don't do that. Look, here's the earthquakes. And see what I mean? They're in the 1, 2 range. Some get up into the 3 range. Every once in a while, you'll see one that'll be a 4, but primarily in the 1s and 2s. There's an ongoing swarm in this area, and it's been doing this for years, right? Since the volcano erupted and prior to the swarm started kicking into high gear. Look at that. 1,832 quakes on this map, and this would be in the last 7 days. What? It's just constantly rumbling, The big island is getting bigger. That's one of the best seats in the house up there in Mauna Kea, looking into the nighttime sky. You got Mauna Loa over here, one of the biggest volcanoes in the world, not active right now. Thank goodness. But that's what made the big island, was the volcanoes themselves. I want to show you guys something that is also, I've had this for a very long time. And I found it on my drive. In fact, I forgot I had it. I didn't forget I had it. I just haven't seen it for a long time. Do you guys know what that is? Take a guess. Just a nobody mothership? Kinda. Take a guess. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Uh, Angelique, good guess, but no, that's not it. Looks like a star. STE 666. I like your way of thinking. Yeah. Got Venus, Donna, Heather, Eclipse, TZ, McCall, Planet X, Lightning, Dark Planet. See a lot of Uranus, and I think because of the color, and I agree. Sirius, nope, nope, no eclipse. That's your planet. You say, nah, that can't be. Yeah, plasma ball. Yeah, it's surrounded by plasma with Grace Me Guide 33. It is surrounded by plasma. See the plasma cloud that surrounds, that's your home. Right there, that is your home. And you're like, nah, way. No, yes, way. That's your home. You're right there somewhere. I'm over here somewhere and you're over here somewhere. Yeah. Donna Desmond, yeah, that's the Earth. Can you believe that? That's the Earth. Cool looking, right, Abe Ventura? But that is where we live. Isn't that wild? This is a satellite image this is actually from below Antarctica. That's a picture of the Earth. Can you imagine what the Earth looks like, say, I don't know, from halfway across the solar system? Say we were looking through a telescope and we looked at the Earth through a telescope. Earth would probably be blue. It would look obviously somewhat like this right here. This is the Earth, by the way. You can see this was during a geomagnetic storm. And you don't get this kind of perspective of a geomagnetic storm very often, but you're getting it today. I've had this for years. I just happened to run across it, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to share this with you guys during the live stream so you can interact and take a guess at what this is in real time. Yeah, this is the Earth, people, surrounded by plasma. Somebody got the plasma cloud right during a geomagnetic storm. Obviously, the daylight side of the Earth is where it's the brightest, and you can see the shadow behind it. See the shadow behind it? That's the nighttime side of the Earth. It's hard to wrap your mind around, but that's looking at the Earth from, below Antarctica. It looks like a blue dot from Saturn. Exactly. It looks like a little blue star. If we were looking at the Earth from Saturn, just like you said, through a telescope, it would look like a blue star. Sure would. And we would be like, there's no way that's a planet. It would look like a star. It would be glistening. It would be changing colors. You would think, no, there's not people on there. No way intelligent life's on there. Oh, yes way. Here we are. We're right here. You just can't see us. But that's the Earth, guys. This is the Earth. And I put it in different formats. Here, let me start this up. I'll play it forward. This is the only view I have. Here, I modified the view just a little bit. But you can see the resolution. This is old. I mean, this is several years old. But that's the Earth. Here it is in a different format again, obviously. Thing at the bottom, that's Antarctica. There you go. The real the real mothership right there. There she is. The real mothership right there. Real live mothership. Earth is alive and active. So volcanic activity, not so much volcanic activity on the Big Island, but as you can see, an abundance of earthquake activity there, and we're going to continue to see earthquake activity in Iceland as the volcano is currently erupting in Iceland. Who knows? We could see, I'm not saying that we are, but a volcano can erupt at any time, and Mount Kilauea, um, who knows? It could erupt again at any time, just like the Iceland volcano. It just erupted, and there's no telling how long this will continue. So, yeah, a lot of activity going on around the world, a lot of large scale events, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, big no name storms. And that storm that went through the eastern United States, in fact, it impacted the entire eastern seaboard all the way up into Canada. Our friends in Canada were impacted by the storm that we can kind of still see right there. I can't believe it didn't have a name. They name winter storms that have a lot of snow. I'm surprised that storm didn't have a name. If it did, I missed it. Did anybody else see that storm get a name? I didn't. I think it should have, though. But anyway, we got another storm coming into the western United States Friday and Saturday. So again, get your umbrellas out, your desert umbrella. Our umbrellas out here are for portable shade. We take our umbrellas to my granddaughter's soccer matches, and most people you see that are standing outside, they've got umbrellas, and the sun's out. There's not a cloud anywhere for miles, but they're using the umbrella for portable shade. That's what they were invented for many thousands of years ago. I want to say over in Asia. Over in Asia. Here's another view of your planet right there. That is planet Earth. And you're right, it would look like a star. I'm speaking of rocks. Here's something I just happened to see this, so it made me think of it, guys. The other day, I was showing you how this rock, this particular rock here, this is a big piece of obsidian, how it responds to an ohm meter. And I know you guys couldn't see it in the small window down here. I apologize for that. I redid it so you can see it and how this rock responds to an ohm meter. Check this out. Here we go. Now you can see it really easy. Check it out. Watch how the rock looks like it's alive. Check it out. There you go. I'm simply going to touch it to the rock. No other rock that I have does this. Not one. Only this one. See how it responds? In the ohm setting, resistance to electricity. And this rock here has always done that. Always. Ever since I've had it. And one day I decided to just check all the different rocks that I have. Even this one here. That is the only one that reacts like that. So I apologize for that being in the small window, expecting you guys to see that. Those of you that are in the chat room today, hey terrestrial, there it is. So that's how that rock responds in the ohm meter world. It responds every single time. I have two of those rocks, and they both behave the same way. They're pretty wild. Speaking of wild, what do we got going on over here? What is that? I mean, it just doesn't look natural, you know? So wild. Okay, I'm just looking at this like, okay, it's got pretty much a 90-degree angle at the top, 90-degree angle at the bottom, some sort of a dot in the middle. I don't know. I don't. It just looks out of place. You got to admit that looks out of place. And any of you can look that up right now. Just go to Google Earth. Yeah, it's on Google Earth right now off the west coast of the United States. It's so wild. Okay. All right, guys, I've got a couple of more photos. Oh yeah, this is the rock that I just showed you guys. That's the rock right there. That thing probably weighs, I don't know, 15 pounds, but it always responds when you put the ohm meter on it anywhere. It doesn't matter where. Just touch it with the ohm meter and every single time. Some say it's African jet. In fact, that's what Indiana told me. It was either obsidian or African jets. Photo here out of the United Kingdom sent in by Mr. Jonathan Pope. It's like a big beam coming down from the clouds. Took this photo the other day, also from the United Kingdom. We have a lot of people from the United Kingdom that have joined us today from the United Kingdom. Jonathan Pope sent this in. He also sent me a video. Jonathan, if you're here, if you're not, maybe catch this later. I'm working on the video that you sent me. He sent me a very interesting video of something that he captured on the dash cam of his car. We'll get back to that in another video. This was sent in by Justin Langford. As we mentioned a couple of days ago, we're in the middle of the Geminid meteor shower. So if you have a nice clear night, like Justin did here last night or 2 nights ago, he took this photo from Maxwell, Iowa, and he caught this Geminid meteor in the nighttime sky above Iowa. Good job, Justin, and thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate that. Super, super cool. Couple more photos I want to share with you guys. We've been talking about these here recently. These very weird patterns that just kind of appear for no reason. Kind of like, let me go back to this here. That don't look so random, you know what I mean? Kind of like this one here that just doesn't look so random. It's got a beginning and a finish point, but how did it get there, you know? It doesn't look like it is just part of the natural sky. You can see the other clouds, they look perfectly normal. But for some reason, that one just does not. And here's another view of the same cloud when it first began. I think she took this photo first and the other one second by Natalie Patterson out of Detroit, Michigan. And there it is again. You know, what causes that formation in the clouds to just randomly appear and nothing else anywhere in the sky? It looks like that. We've been seeing that a lot here lately, like these here. I did a video the other day of these things that were appearing in the sky by multiple people. I thought this was pretty fascinating, though. I really, and still do. Look at this big wedge in the sky. And I'm going to end the video with this one right here. I did a video about this the other day because there was a gentleman from the Florida Everglades. This is out of Brenham, Texas, by the way, Sandra Harris. This has been spotted in the Florida Everglades, and I received another video that I shared a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, of a gentleman driving down the road filming this out of his car. Again, you know, it doesn't look natural. You got like a big chip, big wedge up in the sky. Crystal clear blue skies on the right, and to the far north of this thing. And right here in the middle, you got this giant, looks like a square in the sky. Again, that just doesn't look natural. Is it anything nefarious? Of course not. It's just strange. Kind of like this here off the west coast of California. Looks like we have I don't know, part of a block or something in the sky in the Pacific Ocean off the west coast of the United States. Super bizarre, and you can not make this stuff up. All right, guys, I am going to call it a day. I'd like to say hi to everybody. Yellow Rose of Texas, Abe Ventura, Felicia, Angel Flock, Suzanne Ethier. Glad you guys stopped by. I know, Zuaya, look like designs in the sky. They just definitely don't look natural. Ben Dent saw the same pattern to the northwest. Okay. ST6, you're welcome. My pleasure. I have, I don't know what that means, from heaven. T. Gosselin, howdy, football. Hey, there you go. And I'm a football fan. T. Kerr, that does look like maybe a football through a goalpost. I can tell you're a football fan. Absolutely. How about that game last night? That last second throw to the end zone. All you Seattle fans out there from Seattle, good for you, man. Your Seahawks pulled it off. Philadelphia, sorry. Um, Seattle won the game fair and square. Um, Gavin, thank you. Have a great Christmas. Hi, T. Gosselin from Massachusetts. Tanya, thank you, Tanya Gonzalez. I really appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate all the kind words. If you haven't got your Sky Phenomena photo calendar, don't forget to do so. Great Christmas presents. You can find the link to get your calendar over here at the homepage of the website. You simply click on this banner right here in the middle of the website. In fact, I'll do it. Watch. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to click on the banner, and it will take you to this website where they actually make the calendar. They're good, high-quality calendars, and they're quick with shipping. You can order a PDF if you would like to. If you'd like a calendar for your computer, for your phone, all you got to do is click on that tab right there, and you can choose from various sizes. You can get a different colored ring at the top if you want a black one. If you want a clear one, you can get different sizes. And again, you can get a PDF. So come over here to the homepage of the website, click on that banner right there, and it will redirect you to the link where you can get your 2024 Sky Phenomena photo calendar. All right, guys, going to call it a day. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by. Again, thank you, Sarah Fontana, for the incredible purple sky out of London. Excellent photo. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. If you guys have any videos you'd like to share that are too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. That would be right here, MrMBB333.com. Look for this red banner that says, have a large video. Simply click on the banner. In fact, I'll do it. Here we go. Let's click on it. Takes you to a Dropbox, and you can drag and drop your video right there into that Dropbox. I've gotten videos that were 45 minutes long. So any large video that won't attach to the email, come over here and just simply drag and drop your video into the Dropbox. But one thing I do ask is give me a little bit of detail about what you're sending. Sometimes I'll get these incredible videos of incredible things, but I don't know what these things are. I don't know where they're from, and it's kind of hard. I can't guess. So give me just the basics. Give me the name, just your first name's fine, date, and location. Those three things, and then we'll go from there. And if you want to try to identify what you saw, or if you know what it was, or if you don't know what it was, that's fine too. But mainly name, date, and location. And again, you can send a video in there. I've gotten them 45 minutes long, so you can send large videos right there if you have some you'd like to share. I really appreciate it. Again, thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there, guys. Thanks for stopping by.